Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I've been using disposable film cameras for almost 2 years now, and I guess in this video I just want to share some tips and things to keep in mind while shooting with these film cameras to get the absolute best out of these photos. So first of all, I'm going to show you the cameras that I actually use. I've been using two types of film cameras. This is the main one. It's a Kodak film camera. You've probably seen these types of cameras before, or even heard of the brand Kodak. But also I've been using another one called One Shot, and it's slightly different. It's slightly smaller and slimmer. I only got these ones when these ones were out of stock. I got these ones because I just wanted to shoot with any type of film camera. I've tried them, I've used them twice before. This is my third camera. The photos honestly turn out exactly the same. I mean, I haven't taken both cameras at the same time and then got them developed and see which one looks better. But whenever I do take photos with these cameras, they do turn out about the same, so it's not really like a huge issue. The only thing I do like about this one compared to the other one is the flash mechanism. Is all you do is just flip a switch and it's on. You can see the little red light, and when you don't want it, you can just put it away. But then this one here, the way that you use the flash is you just hold on to the button for like 10 seconds until the little red light flashes. Then you know the battery has charged the flash. I always make sure I'm holding onto the flash while taking the photo, just to ensure that I don't accidentally take a photo and the flash doesn't go off and then you just wasted one photo, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's get into the tips and tricks. So the first thing I would recommend is to never shoot your photos in portrait, which is like this way. I think the photos don't ever turn out that great in portrait. I mean, especially for me personally, when I get them developed, they don't actually look that good. And maybe it could have just been the lighting and the situation that I was in, or the person taking the photo of me, or maybe me taking the photo. I just noticed that the photos don't ever turn out that great in a portrait. It just looks a lot better if you do take them in landscape mode, like the way that it's meant to be taken. I mean, you definitely can take them in portrait, but I feel like it just looks a lot better if it's in landscape. Second thing is to make sure you are using these film wisely, because this only takes 27 photos. Same with this one. It only takes 27 photos. Definitely do use them wisely, because you definitely don't want to waste them all in a day. Kind of mentally plan how many photos you're going to take each day. Like when I go out, then I kind of mentally take, okay, I'm not going to take any more than like 3 or 4 photos today. And if I don't, sometimes I do forget to take the photos, so it's not the end of the world, but kind of mentally savor like the film and use them only when you want to use them. So the third tip I have for you to get the best photos is to take them candidly. I've seen a lot of people, like especially on Pinterest and Instagram, take candid photos of their friends and family, and the photos end up looking a lot better than it being super posed. Like, yeah, you can take some photos being like posed with your friends, but I feel like taking candid photos on film cameras for some reason just turn out like 10 times better than if you just pose for the photo. And the fourth tip I have for you is to make sure that the photos you're taking are always leveled. I feel like just try your hardest to level it up as much as you can. I mean, there's the viewfinder, you can see it from the back, and that's for the front. So try to like level up as much as you can. Try to get it like at least centered. The first time I used these film cameras, I was on a Halloween party boat. So obviously we were all drunk, and then also the boat was waving, so it was hard to like take a perfect photo. But whenever I got my friends to take photos or asked people to take photos of me, the photos just came out like all off-centered. And it's not just the first roll of film, the few times after then, even I personally have taken a photo and it's just been a little bit too low, a little bit too high. It's kind of hard to tell because you can't really see what you're taking a photo of before you take it, or even afterwards. It's only until you get them developed is when you realize, oh, oops. Another really important tip is to make sure you're always using the flash. Unless you're in direct sunlight, so the sun is perfectly like hitting your face, you definitely wouldn't need it. But even if you're in like a dark environment, like right now, it's pretty lit up, it's pretty bright, but remember, this is film, this isn't digital. Always use the flash, so always hold onto the flash button, or always flip this little switch and use it. Make sure you're always using the flash unless you're in direct sunlight. Leading on to my next tip is, if you are in direct sunlight, make sure your photos are not backlit. What that means is, let's say you're taking a photo of your friends at the beach and the sun is behind them, so the sun is shooting their back and shooting you in the face. Do not do that because the photo could look really dark and the people you're taking photos of, they will look like silhouettes. Obviously, if you're not in direct sunlight, just use the flash and it'll work either way. But if you are using direct sunlight for your photos, make sure you're not backlit because the photos will look really dark and the photos just don't look that good. And the last little tip I have for you is to try to avoid taking mirror photos. I've taken some mirror photos of my friends or just me, especially like the last few photos at the end of the roll of film, and I don't know what else to take a photo of, so I just take a little random mirror selfie that I know I'm not going to post anywhere. But the photos don't always look good in the mirrors, especially yet again if you don't have a lot of light and you do use the flash. Every single mirror photo I've taken on film always looks so dark, whether I'm using flash or not. It doesn't look good. So unless you have lots of light on your face and you don't use the flash, I think that's the only time that it will kind of look good. My next tip, show people how to actually use the camera. I feel like I always thought that some people just kind of knew it, and you know, it's as easy as just press this button right up here. Like there's only one button, it's that one, other than the flash. But unfortunately, some people don't know how to use it. And also the little viewfinder, which is what you see through here, is not the actual camera. What that means is basically that the viewfinder and the camera is two separate things. So even though you can see a clear image, your finger might be covering the camera, because you definitely don't want to get your roll of film back and you realize that all the photos, your fingers were covering the camera, or that you forgot to use the flash and then the photos are really dark or black basically. And lastly, before I end this video, I will answer some frequently asked questions that I feel like people will be asking in the comment section, and I'll just answer it here now. So the first one is, how much are the disposable film cameras? Now, both of these were about $20, and I say about $20 because I've seen some for about $18, $19. I've seen some for about $21, $22, so about the $20 mark, which is pretty good for like a whole roll of film, the disposable camera, a battery, just for 20 bucks. Like that's pretty cheap if you think about it. And I mean, yeah, you take only 27 photos, but the photos end up looking really good, so it's definitely worth it. How much does it cost to get the film developed? It is definitely depending where you go to get them developed, and also if you want to just get only the roll of film developed into printable sections or only digital copies. I get them both printed and in digital form so I can post them on Instagram or whatever, but also have like a photo book of all of my film photos. But how much do they cost? They cost about $20 as well. When I first started using film cameras like 2 years ago, I think they were like $16 for both printed and film, but film has gotten a lot more popular since, so I think $21 or something. So they are going up, and maybe it is inflation as well, but it also is definitely depending on the place that you go get them developed, which is leading on to my next question. Where is the best place to get them developed? I think the best place to get them developed is actually at a camera store or a film camera store. You can probably look them up anywhere in your area. Personally, I go to a store called DG Direct. I always go there to get them developed. I feel like at a proper camera store, they do take a little bit more care in developing the photos, especially in that stage of it being developed. You definitely don't want to take really good photos and then take them to a cheap place that doesn't really develop them that well or that professionally, and then the photos don't ever look that good. Where is the best place to find the cameras being sold? I've found these in Kmart for like $20. I've also found them on Amazon. I think the first time I ever got the cameras was from Amazon, so that's where I get them from. I only get them from Kmart. You can probably find them from film stores or camera stores, but that's where I got them from. How long does a roll of film last? So even though these are one-time use only, it has one roll of film. How long do they last? For me, it definitely is how often you take the photos. I think the first time I used a roll of film, it took me like 3 months before I got them developed. So it's about like, you know, a few months depending how often you use the cameras. I don't use them all the time. I only ever use them when I go out. If I remember to bring it with me, sometimes I forget. The shortest time I think was like 1 or 2 months, and I think that was around September when I wanted to use like a whole roll of film for my Billie Eilish concert. I think I only took like 10 photos before I took it to Billie Eilish, and then I think I just used the rest of the film there, but the longest was 6 months. Another question you might be wondering is, should I buy a disposable film camera or should I buy a reusable film camera? At this stage I'm going to be using these ones, or maybe using like a reusable plastic one. I've seen some plastic reusable film cameras that you just need to replace the film and replace the battery for the flash. Haven't yet used it because it is quite expensive. And lastly, what brands is better? Like I've said, I've only ever used Kodak and the one-shots. I feel like it is definitely depending where you can find one, because the first place that I've ever found one was at Kmart and it was these cameras. So it was only these ones. There wasn't this one yet or any of the other ones. So it is depending which one you can actually find. I think the Kodak one is better only because it's a popular brand. Anyways, if you have any other questions that I didn't mention in this video, definitely comment that down below. I don't have a film Instagram page like I know a lot of people do, but my photography Instagram page, I have been recently posting the best photos I've taken on film, because every now and then I do like to change the theme. So if you want to check that out, if you want to see all my cool photos I've taken, definitely follow me on my photography Instagram page. I'll have it somewhere on the screen right now and a link into the description. And if you liked this video, definitely give it a thumbs up if you found it really helpful, and subscribe. It would really help my channel out. I've recently got monetized on YouTube, so I'm really excited. Hopefully I can start making money. Obviously I won't be expecting to make like millions, but anything will help, even if it's like $1. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.